One Pig, Two Farmers, Three Chefs depicts Feed the Hunger Foundation's belief that we can, that we must, create a more sustainable food system for Hawaii. Our 2014 honorees embody our belief that a healthy, local food system is not solely about the food, but about how we work together, how our relationships are interwoven, how cultural identities make us more vibrant, and how we respect the Aina and all living beings. These awardees see themselves as part of a web where not just individuals, but where families and communities need to be strong. Each of these individuals has a profound respect, not just for their individual artistry and craft, but for the vital role that each of them plays in creating the food cycle of Hawaii. Together, they live the culture of food, connecting us all.
Unless we can attract a good demographic, I think most of the protein producers are going to go out of business in 10 years. I think it's the same with vegetable growers. The smaller guys are going to go out. What I would like to see is people start to cook again, because that strengthens the family and that gives us a really good base to market a product in. Without the home cooks, I don't know what's going to happen to farming, because it's the home cooks determine what we produce and how we make a living.
Unless you sit down, you cook this meal together and you eat it together, you don't have this bond with what your parents made or what you ate before. Unless you do that, you kind of lose something as a family.
You lose a cultural identity.
Yeah.
If you think about it, the only activity you do as a family in the house that fosters communication is cooking. If you're at home watching TV, you're not communicating. If you have to stand and cook together, you have to communicate. Why should you care if farmers grow stuff? Because if the small independent farmers aren't here, you will eat what the big companies determine will make them the most money, period.
Americans have this love affair with cheap, convenient food. There's silly statistics that the average household spends less than an hour a day preparing food, but more than 3 hours a day watching TV. Europeans spend over 20% of their annual income on food, and in America it's less than 10%.
It's not always about faster. It's not always about bigger. We choose to do things on a small scale. That's the only way we ensure quality. We could really do double that, but it's not going to be to what we want. We know everybody that we deliver to.
Yeah, so every pig that we sell, the first and second person who touches that pig after it leaves us, I know personally. I don't want to have to explain to them, oh, I'm sorry, the pig is a little bit dirty today. And that sets us apart. Commitment to providing a good product.
Shinsato pork, I think it's fucking awesome. Sorry, I can't say that. Glenn and Amy are just great people. The product speaks for itself, but the people are a bonus. Yeah, for us, it's always about building relationships and knowing where the food comes from. You can't buy that. That to me is way more important than a price. When you know who grew it and it's done with love and respect, then it's always going to taste better.
And a farm cannot exist as a single entity. A farm has to exist as part of a system. The farmer has to grow something, the product has to move to hopefully the consumer in the shortest path possible. But every person along that way has to have a stake and a responsibility to the person before and after him. Because if that doesn't work, the farmer never gets his due.
We use a term called co-producers, and it basically goes beyond what's traditionally thought of as a producer-consumer or a farmer-chef or a grower buyer-seller relationship, where people take a vested interest in the success of everyone's organization, and altogether the food system gets lifted up. And from the first time I met Denise and Patty, I realized that they were true co-producers. With all the people that they worked with, when you listen to them tell the stories of these people that they had helped internationally, tears came to their eyes, and such joy came from it. It wasn't like it was a pure financial venture. It was really, they took a very keen interest in helping farmers and food producers that needed it. So it was just, you know, birds of a feather flock together, and I really kind of believe in what they're about. You may have heard the term vote with your fork. I think the consumers, whether they realize it or not, the food system is connected to everything. Unlike other systems may exist on their own.
Being able to support local farmers, you know, people talk about it all the time. We, as a community, we have a responsibility to be able to follow through with that. Not only for the health of our kids and ourselves, but also for the sustainability for the farmers. You know, if they have no support, they got no income. No income, they don't have a chance. So we have to be able to share the responsibility with that and support these guys and get them to the point where we need them to be.
I think the small farmers need the help. If not, we're going to be swallowed up by the big conglomerates.
So you don't mind if she helps another small pig farmer?
Oh, absolutely
hell no.
not.
We cannot survive. If we were the only farm here, we couldn't survive because the feed companies couldn't survive off of just supplying us. Right? So we need a certain amount of critical mass so the feed company can survive. We need a mass where the slaughterhouse can survive. We need all of these. So it's not just the farm that has to survive. The infrastructure has to be able to support the farm.
Even if there are other people coming on, we have to think better. So the competition is ourselves.
My competition speaks with a Danish accent. My competition speaks with a Canadian accent. My competition comes from Iowa. Because they can produce a product so cheap and in such great quantities that they can just bulldoze the market. That's my competition. I gotta convince the people here to buy something that's grown, raised, and slaughtered here is a lot better than something that was raised somewhere else.
I owe a huge part of our success to the people that work here, but also Mama Lei, you know, my mom. I owe her everything. You know, she's worked so hard. My parents didn't have any money when they came to Hawaii. They came straight from Vietnam. They escaped the war and they had maybe $10 or $15 in their pocket. But along the way, they met a lot of good people that helped them. That was enough for me to a lesson in itself where you gotta trust in people. And through that, great things can happen. Yeah.
We're all in this together. It's really not about what benefits us. It's about the whole food system reform in Hawaii. Yeah, 200 years ago we were 100% self-sufficient. Now we're 10% self-sufficient. So I think just by helping people that are helping others to grow food or produce food or deliver food, transport food, it's a wide-ranging system that oftentimes people think chefs dwell in one realm of it, but there's no other group that's kind of uniquely poised to spread their influence and assistance across the whole range of the system.
You know why cows can't fly? Because the mother never told them it was a possibility. The cow jumped over the moon, but pigs fly. Not all pigs, but some pigs fly.